Hello everyone. I was talking to my brother a few days back. We were chit chatting, and just asking him how's his office going on. Would he be interested to go back to office if they call him? And not only his answer was emphatically no, he said that if his employer would force him to come to office, he would rather quit. He will rather quit than actually commuting 1.5 hours or 2 hours into office. Um, by the way, he works in IT industry, so he can definitely do all his work from home, and he has been doing that for last almost 2 years since the sickness started. And by the way, I also work in IT industry, and I share the sentiment. I have also been working from home since March of 2020, and I would prefer to also continue to work from home if I'm not forced to. And we both have our own reasons. He was focusing on his health. Extra 2 3 4 hours provides him opportunity to not only do his work, but other chores, cooking food and stuff, and focusing on exercise, maintaining his health, um, and not exactly health, but similar sort of reasons for me as well. So things that I can finish during the week, it gives me ample amount of time to do that. I don't have to delay all those things for the weekends, and in some cases you cannot do those jobs during the in the weekends because XYZ office is either closed and stuff. So yeah, and then I came across this survey um, that was conducted by Advanced Workplace Associates (AWA), where similar sort of sentiment was shared by majority of the respondents. So one thing is for sure, that this sentiment is not only just in my family, but pretty much across the board. 86% is a huge number. So yeah, 86% of white collar workers want permanent hybrid work week or they will quit. Now, in case of me and my brother, our sentiment was a bit more stricter, where we don't even want to go to office, so we want um, permanently working from home. In this case, respondents were at least somewhat flexible, and we will see that in a minute. Now, Bloomberg reports a new poll from AWA surveyed 10,000 white collar workers worldwide. First thing, pretty decent size sample size. Um, in finance, technology, and energy, so different uh, verticals in the industry as well, who have said they will quit if employers force them back into office for an entire work week. So a bit flexible, that they're not asking for the entire work week, but sort of a hybrid work week. To comprise 86% of the respondents said they would favor a hybrid work week of at least 2 at home and the rest in the office. So these individuals want Fridays and Mondays to be holidays. Well, I shouldn't say holidays, but work from home. But Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, they are happy to come to office. Now, that made me think, what will be the consequences if even half of these workers are allowed to work from home fully or partially? Now, mind you, I mean, of course, these individuals or majority of the workforce that is working from home today wants to continue to work from home. Doesn't mean that they will get an opportunity, 6 months down the line or 3 months down the line, once the impact of sickness crisis is over, and employers want them to be available in office. Not everybody will be in a situation to say no. While they are all saying that they will quit, but not everybody will be in that situation. We also have to keep in mind that the impact of the stimulus and all the money printing done to minimize the impact of the sickness crisis have actually have flown through the system. So all that money printing impact of those are already over. People don't have any additional savings to actually be able to say no, especially in case of US. Majority of the population is back on debt, and they are back on credit cards. So yeah, but nevertheless, that's the sentiment. But let's see what will be the consequences. Now, some of the companies have already started the hybrid work weeks. At least some of the banks are mentioned here. They have adopted a hybrid work week. The more relaxed stance reflects the growing tolerance of a hybrid work week, though it could have severe repercussions for commercial real estate firms. So when I started thinking what will be the impact, this was the first thing that came to my mind. That what will happen to all that office space in the city or CBD or elsewhere as well. What will happen to that? So first thing that will happen is, if some population of a company has the power enough, or has the sway enough to continue to work from home completely, then all that workspace for those individuals is no longer required. So let's just, for argument's sake, say even 10% or 20% of the workforce on upper echelons who have strong sway, and who are definitely not needed to be in the office to do their job or do their work, especially the managerial roles, where all they have to do is just paperwork and those sort of things, and meetings and stuff, and don't need to be in office. they they if they actually don't want to be in an office, that is 10 to 20% of the workspace no longer required, period, going forward. And for the remaining, let's call it 80% or 90%, doesn't matter, if they can also be staggered in for their availability in office, because we are talking about hybrid work week here. So let's say some come to office only 2 days, Mondays and Fridays, while other come to office only Mondays, Wednesdays and Thursdays. So if they can be staggered, again the remaining workspace can be reduced by 50%. So if there are no concerns because of the sickness going forward 3 months 6 months down the line, at least that's what it seems like is the case, and there are no restrictions, then same office space can be used by two individuals, and you don't need the 90% of the workspace. You can reduce it by half. That, my friends, will have serious repercussions in terms of the required office space in an economy. What will happen? First, all that office space will be empty. If the office space is empty and no longer required, then the market valuations of that commercial property will have to come down drastically to give enough incentives for other type of individuals to use it. So what will happen? Work from home could lead to a drop in market value of the commercial property. That's for sure. Related to that would be the commercial space that require the employees to be available near the cities or workspace, office workspace. Case in point, restaurants, eateries, bars, coffee shops, all that. Because today, if a lot of people come from their home to office, they pick coffee and breakfast during the morning, they do lunches, and after the office they go for drinks and bars and that entertainment facilities. And if those are if the lot of people are working from home, and the number of people who are actually available in office cannot keep these businesses viable long term, then they will have to shut down, no questions asked. And these type of businesses, small and medium enterprises, require their employees to be available. It's not like they can actually live by having their employees work from home. So that is going to be another big consequences, and I in my city I'm already seeing that. I mean, a lot of these restaurants and mom and pop shops have completely shuttered down. I mean, I see it all the time in the malls and supermarkets. So big changes may happen in future if this sentiment um, actually start bearing its fruits. It doesn't stop there. A lot of these cities collect heavy property taxes because of the commercial real estate. In fact, a significant chunk of money comes from the commercial real estate taxes, and that helps in maintaining the services provided by the city, whether it is law and order through police, maintaining of roads, public parks, water, electricity, you name it, gas, all of that. They are maintained through these property taxes. And if those taxes are not collected, how are the cities going to be viable? That's going to be a big question mark. I mean, temporarily, all this has been supported through subsidies and money printing by the government, but once these subsidies and money printing is not available, then what? So, and it's not even like that. These restaurants, they can be moved to suburbs, like for like or one for one, to cater for the same needs in suburbs. It doesn't work like that. I mean, usually if I'm at home, I will not go out for the breakfast. I will just have my breakfast at home. I will have majority of my lunches at home. So that would be the case. I mean, there will be occasional um, takeaway and order from outside for lunches and as such, but not most of the time. So all those businesses will be gone pretty much permanently. Now, on the flip side, some of the advantages would be that things that people consume in office are provided by the employer, like tables and electronics and things like that, printers and such. You would need that at your home office, so there will be an demand for that. But most of that demand has also flown through the economy because all people have already done that at home. It's not like there's going to be a new demand for it. So yeah, now some of the firms have already begun converting office buildings into residential ones. Um, Again, part of the charm or why this sentiment is there is because of a better lifestyle. People are moving to suburbs from the cities because of this lifestyle. Why would they want to actually get an apartment in the city? Um, I mean, is beyond me. Unless it's like youngster crowd who don't own a piece of their own, land or ownership of a property, um, and if the bar is low enough, in other words, the valuation of those real estate properties or apartments is low enough for easy entry. I don't see again much of charm into having a residential property into the city or office buildings. So yeah, those are my thoughts on this new trend. Um, I believe this will definitely have an impact, because if such an overwhelming majority of employees have this sort of sentiment, employers will have to pay attention, they will have to listen, and some of it is already reflected here, that some of these big companies have already adopted that, and will be the case going forward. I believe so. Will remain to be seen. Of course, the on the flip side, I can argue, once there is a recession, which seems likely, 6 months, 7 months, 1 year down the line, especially if Federal Reserve hike the rates, all these central banks hike the rates. Likelihood is that, worldwide there's going to be a recession sometime soon. And that would lead to cutting down of jobs, and that would cause a scare among the workforce, and majority of the workforce would not be in a position to say no should their employers want them to be in office. So again, that is also a possibility, but I have my serious doubts. I think this sentiment will lead to more of a trend working from home. So yeah, those are the thoughts, and invest safely and wisely. And I will see you next time. Bye.